All right, so new format changes for NASCAR. Well, let's go right into it. I have a couple of screenshots on my phone so I can kind of explain it as best as I can. I'll put the screenshots up on the screen for you as well when I get to it. But basically, quick summary of what the changes are. So, no heat races, luckily, but it's most of the changes I like. Let's just get straight to it. I like most of the changes. There's just the one aspect of the change I don't like is that basically what we're going to have now, instead of a race being, let's say, if we go to Bristol, we do the Bristol night race, 500 laps. Okay, you would just go 500 laps and points are awarded at the end. What it is now is you have 3 stages. The first stage will award 1 playoff point for the winner, and it awards points from first to 10th. So first place will get 10 regular points, not playoff points, 10 regular points. And then second place will get 9, third 8, on and on and on. And then stage 2 is the same way, 10 points, 9, 8, on and on and on. And if you win the stage, you get the normal 10 points, so like regular season points still matter in case you don't win. But you get a playoff point. So you get 1 playoff point for a stage win, which means you can get 2 stage wins, 2 playoff points that will carry over into the playoffs. I'll get into the playoff points a little bit later. And then the final stage is normal. There's no gimmicks to it. The final stage is basically what we've had the last couple of years, which is points are awarded from 40th to 1st. But now you get 5 playoff bonus points if you win the race. So let's say we're going the Daytona 500. If you win the race, you get 5 playoff points. If you win stage 1 and 2 and win the Daytona 500, you get 7 playoff points. Now, how does this carry into the chase? So the first 26 races, there is a regular season champion. So how this is going to work is the regular season champion, it's kind of like if you go back to 2004, and the points leader would have a 5-point gap to second place, and then a 5-point gap to third place, and a 5-point gap to fourth, and on and on, the increment of 5. Basically, what's going to be going on, let me read it on my phone, I'll post it on the screen for you as well. Regular season playoff points, first place will get 15 points, second place will get 10, third will get 8, fourth 7, fifth 6, sixth place will get 5 points, seventh place will get 4 points, eighth place will get 3 points, ninth place will get 2 points, and 10th place will get 1 point. That's your regular season standings. That's where you are in the point standing. So if you score the most points throughout the season, you get 15 additional points added on to the points that you already got for race wins. Hence, if you won 4 races, that's 20 playoff points added on to the stage wins as well. So if you win, let's say throughout 26 races, you win 12 stages, you get 12 playoff points. You add all that up, and that's how you get all of your playoff points. So the beginning of the chase will be determined like that. It's an accumulation of stage wins, it's accumulation of race wins, and it's accumulation of regular season standings. Here's the best part of the new changes is that they carry over. So rounds 1, 2, and 3, your playoff points do not expire. If you dominate the first 26 races of the season and you have 50 playoff points, you keep those points. You give yourself a buffer to have bad races. The elimination format is still the same. You still have, if you win, you are locked into the next race. But if you have, let's say, an extra 40 playoff points and you blow up, you have such a bigger gap now that carries over. Everything you do in round 1 affects round 2. Everything you do in round 2 affects round 3. Because if you win, let's say you win in round 2, those playoff points carry over. So everything matters now. So it's not like if you do an elimination race at Dover and then you go to the next race at Charlotte, it's not resetting. You're still gonna have those playoff points. The original chase, the best way I could explain it is, think about when you go to the first chase race and you have the playoff, the bonus points for race wins, and then once the elimination for the first one goes out, everything resets. Now take that initial standings at the beginning of the chase, and that will always carry over. You just eliminate drivers, but the points stay the same. So that's something I like, because now it gives the dominant drivers just a little bit more room. Martin Truex isn't going to get eliminated if he doesn't if he has one bad race. It eliminates the randomness, and I appreciate that because this brings forth the consistency matters. This is something I always complained about, which was the first 26 races of the season were bullshit. Because once you won a race, it was nothing mattered. Because you're going to get past round one. That's pretty much a guarantee. And then after that, the season, the first 29 races of the season don't fucking matter. And that really pissed me off. So this changes things. This changes things for the better. Homestead is still the same. So once you get to the Homestead race, everything is reset. It's a straight up a dash for the championship. I mean, I can't complain with it. You still get the Game 7 moment, but you get consistency. So if, let's say, Kevin Harvick dominates the entire season, and he gets the Homestead, if he doesn't win Homestead, he can always complain that it's a one race little deal, it's a one race gimmick, but it's a much better chance to give yourself consistency to Homestead. It's a much clearer path. You don't go into the second round when everything's reset back to zero and it's a 3-race season. It's not like that anymore, so that's very good. Only negative thing I have about this format is with the stages, the actual race format. So after stage 1, there will be a caution. After stage 2, there will be a caution. That's the only thing I don't appreciate. I feel like every race should be able to have its own flow, and I do appreciate giving the race leader and the top 10 points, regular season points, for running well. So let's say if the leader blew up with 30 to go, he still has he has more points, if he ran well from lap 1 to lap 200. But now what's happening with the state, since there's a caution coming out, it's kind of like you're dividing the race into 3 races. So entertainment-wise, understand, it's kind of like heat races. They're not doing heat races, but it's kind of like heat races. That's the only thing I don't like. I would appreciate not having a caution flag after the segment ends. So when the top 10 go across the finish line, that is your top 10. They get points, but the race continues. You don't just throw a caution flag, reset everything, go to pit road, and they want to interview the crew chief, interview the driver. No, we don't need to interview the driver after stage 1. This is a race, and I don't think we need cautions to intervene with the flow of the race. There's a flow to it. But you do reward them for performing well. That's what I like. That's the only thing I would change. I feel like it's gonna take a while for me to get over it, but overall, the positives of this format do outweigh the negatives. Now, when we do go through the season, we might find a couple of loopholes here and there about what will go on with the cars and the racing formats, and how teams might utilize pit stop strategy to get around the format and the stages. That might be a little bit interesting to see. But depending on the race length, that will be your stage. So if we go, I'm going to use Bristol again as an example. If you have 500 laps, your stages will probably be lap 175, lap 350, and then lap 500 is the end. If you go to Daytona, the Daytona 500, your stages will most likely be lap 65, lap 135, and lap 200. However they want to divide it. They're going to divide the race evenly into 3 segments. And it doesn't. I heard Brad Keselowski say something about. Eliminating the high line around Talladega. That technically is not going to be eliminated. It's going to be eliminated for the. I guess you can say the first half of the race. Like the first half of the race is going to be good, but once you get to that final segment where it's still like 60 laps to go. People are going to run the high line until like 10 laps to go. So that's still going to happen. That's something you can't really it is what it is. That's something more about the aero package than the actual format of the race. Overall, guys, the format is really good. I ensure you guys I try to explain it the best I can. I know this is probably I'm all over the place. I really try explaining it the best way I can. But go check it out for yourself on NASCAR.com and go on Twitter and look at all the news and try to get a better understanding of how every race will work. The most important thing is that every race does matter now. Every race for the winner gives them more initiative for the entire season, because now the chase is not this just island of a separate season. It's no longer like that. All 36 races matter because the goal is to get the Homestead, but now there's an accumulative effort into getting there. It's not win a race in the first 26 races, then take a break, and then wait for the 10 races. The 10 races have been affected by the 26 races. The 26 races have been affected by the last 10 races as well. So this is really good news. I'm happy NASCAR did this. Again, the last thing, I don't like the cautions after the stages, but we'll see how it plays. overall, very good announcement, very good format. Makes me excited for this season coming up, and it has potential. We'll see how it goes. But always the focus. Let's make the racing better on track. The format right now looks like it will work, but we gotta make the racing better on track as well to provide actual exciting racing. So yeah, let's stop repaving Atlanta and Texas, guys, because fuck, those are the best tracks and they're getting repaved. Guys, like the video, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Go check out the format changes for yourself. I will see you guys later. Hope you're having a great day. Peace out.